As a reformed shopaholic and business graduate with over 10 years of experience in sales, I know firsthand how confusing it can seem sometimes when we speak about financial progress. So, in today's video, I would like to share with you 7 indicators that you're doing better financially than you think, and they might surprise you. Number one is, are you setting your own financial goals? When you set your own financial goals, you step away from the herd mentality and you focus on what truly matters to you. Herd mentality is a term that is found in behavioral finance, and it refers to a bias where investors tend to follow and copy what other investors are doing. They are largely influenced by their own emotion and instinct rather than by their own independent analysis. And the same principle can be applied to your overall financial goals. Instead of letting family expectations, friends, society, or social media dictate your decisions, you independently assess your personal priorities and aspirations. This means thinking beyond about making more money or copying another person's version of financial success. It's about identifying what you actually want that money to achieve for you. You ask yourself questions like, what is it that truly brings me joy? Or what is it that I can live without? Or what do I want out of life? When you're very honest with yourself, you can let go of anything that is not contributing to your financial goal and therefore have way higher chances that you actually reach it. It will help you determine what financial success means to you personally and relieve any stress that comes from external pressure. This in turn will strengthen your self-confidence and self-respect as you say no to the things that just don't matter. It's easy to feel inadequate when you're comparing yourself to another person's version of success. But if you're committed to building a future that is based on your own values, you're already ahead. I'll be the first to admit that carefree spending has cost me in the past as a reformed shopaholic. Without a clear understanding of where your money is going, it's difficult to build a financial future and therefore, in my personal opinion, a fulfilling life. For one, if you're spending without a plan, you don't know how much you need to save or invest to reach your financial goals. And second, spending without intention often means that you get less value for your money because purchases are driven by habit or impulse. Knowing where your money is going is the backbone of financial planning because it will protect you from those impulse purchases. The problem with impulse buying is that you will quickly return to your initial baseline level of happiness, no matter how many new things you buy. When you're unaware of this, it's super easy to chase these temporary boosts of happiness, whether that is buying a new phone or new trendy clothes, only to find that these moments are fleeting and derail you from reaching your goals. Having an overview of your expenses and consciously deciding where your money is going is one of the most powerful financial habits that you can have. It not only aligns with your long-term goals, but also reduces stress because you're super aware of your financial position. This awareness empowers you to make better choices that bring you genuine satisfaction rather than temporary highs. Next up, we have you choose the more effective financial game. As Naval Ravikant, a successful entrepreneur and investor, once pointed out, you can play two financial games: the status game or the wealth game. The status game is all about looking rich. It's a never-ending chase of trying to one-up your colleagues, your friends, or your neighbors just to make them feel inferior. The goal is to project this image of wealth through flashy purchases like luxurious sports cars, designer clothes, and giant houses. It's all about keeping up with the Joneses. And the worst part, the status game is a zero-sum game. For you to win the game, to look wealthier than someone else, they have to lose. It's all about relative positioning and not about creating real value. And no matter how hard you try, there's always going to be someone who's trying to one up you. It's a recipe for anxiety, dissatisfaction, and very low self-respect. In contrast, the wealth game is about building real lasting value. Instead of flashy displays, the focus is on saving, investing, and growing your assets over time. It's the strategic long-term approach to personal finance. Take investing in the stock market, for example. If you buy a share of a growing company or invest in an index fund, you're actively participating in creating wealth. As the companies generate more value for their customers, their employees, or the economy, the value of your investment goes up. And it's not a zero-sum game. Everyone involved in the process can benefit from the success of the companies. It's a positive sum scenario where the overall economic pie is getting bigger. An emergency fund of at least 3 months worth of living expenses is a safety net that protects you from any financial shock. Having this buffer shows that you're thinking ahead and you're planning for unexpected expenses such as a car repair, a medical expense, or a temporary job loss. It puts you ahead of most people. For example, I once had to cover a $1,500 car repair. In the past, a cost like this would have sent me into panic mode, and I would have had a hard time to actually find the money for it. But with an emergency fund, I could pay off that bill without going into debt and not needing to figure out where I'm going to get the money from. Yes, it's still painful to pay such a big sum at once, but at least I could take away the stress of wondering how I'm going to cover the cost and avoid losing more money through high interest rates. This fund serves as a buffer for your mental well-being as much as it does for your finances. It allows you to focus on long-term goals. It proves that you have mastered the habit of saving money, and most of all, it's a first step to avoid debt once and for all. It's surprising how many people overlook the impact of marketing and sales tactics on their financial decisions. They often come in the form of discounts, limited time offers, or the shifting ideals around beauty and lifestyle. Brands spend billions to tap into your desires and make their products seem indispensable. But not only companies make use of shabby sales and marketing tactics, influencers have amplified these tactics over the last decade. They often promote fast fashion and luxury goods in a way that subtly pressures viewers to keep up with trends. They do that by saying things like run to Sephora or walk, no, run to Zara, to activate people's FOMO, fear of missing out. And not only that, influencers often try to keep up a facade of a lifestyle that works well on social media, but not in real life. According to a survey commissioned by the credit card company Barclaycard, nearly 1 in 10 UK shoppers, 9% admit to buying clothing only to take a photo on social media. After the outfit of the day makes it online, they return it back to the store. This creates a false impression of constantly acquiring and wearing new things. Not falling for these tactics means that you're protecting your financial health. You make sure your spending aligns with what truly benefits you, rather than what influencers or advertisers want you to believe you need. If you don't find yourself dreading your monthly credit card statements and prioritize debt payment, you're definitely ahead these days. Many people are aware of their growing problem, but feel overwhelmed and stop focusing on tackling their debt. This behavior can make them ignore the statements altogether. It is also known as the ostrich effect, which describes how people often avoid negative information that could help them monitor their goal progress. Instead of dealing with the situation, we look away and we don't want to see reality for what it is. This avoidance can often make things worse and incur costs that we might not have had to pay if we had faced the problem head on. So managing your debt responsibly can prevent you from paying extra in interest, fees, or penalties. It allows you to allocate more of your income towards your savings and investments to build real wealth. If you're consistently paying your bills on time and you're not relying on credit cards to fund your lifestyle, you're showing strong financial responsibility. If you're actively making choices with your long-term financial stability in mind, you're already on a great path. This doesn't mean that you need to be an expert in investing or have the perfect budget, but rather than you're thinking about how your choices today will affect your future in the long run. Planning for retirement, building an investment portfolio, or simply creating a habit of saving are all signs of a strong financial mindset. You're not spending without a plan. Instead, you're building a future that will allow you to enjoy financial security, even if you don't see the immediate result right now. This perspective not only supports your financial goals, but also lets you live with way more confidence and less stress. Financial success isn't always flashy, and it's often made up of small, everyday habits rather than these big achievements. True financial stability is about having control, clarity, and purpose in your finances. We can have anything we want, but we can't have everything at once. It's important to make one intentional choice at a time. And if you don't know where to start when it comes to saving money, check out this video up here or this one where I speak about money habits that are keeping you poor. And if you found this video helpful, it would mean the world to me if you give this video a thumbs up, hit the notification bell as well as the subscribe button, and join the community as it grows. So see you next time. Bye.